Hello and welcome our blood viewers to RTD's News English Edition. As usual, we bring to you the major and top highlights of tonight. Let's follow. Djibouti mobilizes for Gaza under the aegis of the UNFD, Support Without Borders. Half of hospitals out of service, the desperate call to save lives, Gaza in distress. Those were the major and top highlights. Welcome back to our newsroom, our blood viewers. The Prime Minister, Mr. Abdelkader Kamil Mohammed, received the new ambassador, Mr. Abdul Mun'im Muhammad Yunus. During the meeting, the new ambassador expressed his delight at the friendly relations of friendship and cooperation between his country and ours, and his determination to work towards strengthening exchange of solidarity between the two nations. He also recalls the importance of Djibouti in international relations in the determination of the President of the Presidential Council of the State of Libya, His Excellency Mr. Mohammed Al Manfi, to work to increase and strengthen the ties of exchange, solidarity, and cooperation between the two countries and peoples. In addition, the new ambassador reiterated his willingness to work with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and government officials to breathe new life into constructive bilateral cooperation. Finally, as usual, the Prime Minister welcomed the diplomat to Djibouti and wished him success, assuring him of his full support in the accomplishment of his mission. The UNFD, the Union of Djiboutian Women, organized a day of awareness raising for the Palestinian cause at the headquarters yesterday. The event was attended by numerous personalities, including the second Vice President of the National Assembly, Madam Safia El Jibril, the Minister of Social Affairs, Madam Muluf Ismail Abdo, as well as members of parliament and representatives of various women's associations. Djibouti's commitment to the Palestinian cause is well established, and the country has always expressed its unwavering support for the Palestinian people who have been resisting the Israeli occupation of their land for 75 years. As a sign of solidarity, UNFD has set up a support of fund to help alleviate the suffering endured by the brotherly people of Palestine.
عليك باليهود اللهم أنزل عليهم جنودك من السماء وأخرج عليهم جنودك من الأرض يا إله الأولين والآخرين يا خير الناصرين يا خير الفاتحين اللهم إنا نستعين بك وبك نستغني فأغننا وعليك توكلنا فأكفنا يا حي يا قيوم يا حي يا قيوم يا حي يا قيوم.
Still at the UNFD, we're in collaboration with the community of Balbala, organized this afternoon in the meeting room of the Rahma complex, an awareness raising day of constant support for the Palestinian people. This awareness raising meeting was attended by the Minister for Women and the Family, Madam Muna Usman Aden, the President of the Commune of Balbala, Mr. Mohammed Hassan, the General Secretary of the UNFD, Madam Fatuma Musa, parliamentary deputies, ulamas, neighborhood councils, and civil society. Through this day, the participating leaders and populations also reaffirmed their constant position of support for the brotherly Palestinian people and realizing their aspirations and obtaining all their legitimate rights. Under the chairmanship of Honorable Kaltoum Farah Saeed, the Committee of Legislation, General Administration and Human Rights continued its examination of the Digital Call Bill on November 6th. With the participation of deputy members of the Commission alongside non-member parliamentarians, the meeting took place in the presence of Mariam Hamadou Ali, Minister Delegate in charge of the Digital Economy Innovation and Director General of the Djibouti Multi-Sector Regulatory Authority and the Director General of the NC. At the end of their examination in the dialogue initiated in this sense, the Commission of Legislation, General Administration and Human Rights will conclude its examination, the draft digital code of text being scheduled in the agenda of the first public session of next Thursday, 9th of November. The Secretary General of Health, Mr. Mohammed Ali Mohammed, kicked off the indoor residual spraying operations in the presence of the UNFD representative. Dr. Emma, the senior ref deployed in the commune of Bel'aus, mobilized a strike force of over 70 health workers with the aim of preventing the spread of malaria, particularly in high-risk neighborhoods. In addition to this mobilization, no fewer than 200 female mobilizers from these neighborhoods are making their vulnerable contribution to this vast indoor spraying campaign. This strategy involves the application of a residential insecticide, providing effective protection for 7 months. The aim is to carry out these vector controls operations over a period of 28 days, covering all households in the targeted neighborhoods. The aim is to reduce the risk of mosquito proliferation, particularly during the rainy and cold seasons. At the same time, teams of hygiene officers are working tirelessly to eliminate breeding grounds in the stagnant water. The Ministry of Health is appealing to the residents of the districts concerned by this program to actively support and collaborate with the health workers in this effort. The initiative demonstrates the Ministry's commitment to ensuring the health and well-being of the population by reducing the risk of malaria transmission in high-risk areas. This morning, the Palace of Justice was the scene of an unusual swearing-in ceremony involving 3 new members of the General State Inspectorate. The event took place during a formal sitting of the Court of Appeal under the chairmanship of the court's first president, Mrs. Nima Ali Warsama, and in the presence of such notable figures as the public prosecutor, Mr. Jama' Suleiman Ali, and other officials. The 3 newly appointed state inspectors were designated by presidential decree on June 15, 2023. Their names are now inscribed on the IGE roll, and they answer respectively to the names of Mrs. Amira Abdurrashid Idris, Mr. Mahmoud Muhammad Ibrahim, and Mr. Mubarak Mahmoud Ibrahim. They have solemnly sworn to perform their duties with impartiality and integrity and to respect in all circumstances the reserve, honor, and dignity inherent in their role in accordance with the Constitution, laws, and regulations of the Republic. Colonel Wais Umar Baghori, commander of the Djiboutian Coast Guard, took part in the 3rd edition of the World Coast Guard Summit held in Tokyo, Japan. The summit, co-organized by the Japan Coast Guard and the Nippon Foundation, brought together Coast Guard officials from 96 countries, regions, and organizations, and was opened by the Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida, who extended a warm welcome to the delegation. During the summit, Colonel Wais Umar Baghori exchanged views with his counterparts on maritime issues facing the world's Coast Guard, such as maritime security, peace, protection of the marine environment, climate change, illegal fishing, and organized crime. The first patrol vessel, Saad Umar Gelle, was launched on August 29, 2023, and the second, Muhammad Ali Kako, is currently being finalized. The visit is to the shipyard provided an opportunity to speak with the company's management about the progress of the work, which continues at a normal pace, to praise the excellence and expertise deployed to finalize this project for the acquisition of the 2 patrol boats that will considerably enhance the scope and impact of the Djibouti's Coast Guard maritime safety and security missions. The Arctic Geographical Observatory recorded a mild earthquake of magnitude 4.4 on the Richter scale on Monday, November 6 at 1:59 a.m. local time in the Gulf of Tajura, identified as volcano tectonic. The epicenter was located 13.3 kilometers northwest of the Musha Islands at a depth of 6.2 kilometers, giving a hypercentral distance of around 14.5 kilometers. Microseismic intensity in the areas closest to the epicenter was 4 to 5, weakly felt in the areas closest to the epicenter. Still on the national scene, the Sharks of our national team are actively preparing for the first qualifying match for the 2026 World Cup qualifiers. For the past week, Djibouti's Red Sea Sharks have been undergoing intensive training under the guidance of their coach. They are preparing for the first match in which their opponents are none other than the Pharaohs of Egypt and Guinea-Bissau. The match between the Egyptian national soccer and that of the Republic of Djibouti is part of the first day of Group A of the 2026 World Cup qualifiers.
Team A, we are having preparation towards the qualification of World Cup uh, 2026. We are all fit. We are all training together. Uh, I send my greetings to each and everyone to support the team of Djibouti so that we can all push forward. Then we get the victory. I'm a player of Solar Attack as well. I'm an attacker for Solar Attack. At the same time, attacker for the Keep National. So I wish everybody all the best to support us to go and win to get the victory of match against Egypt and match against Guinea-Bissau. Thank you.
In a concrete effort to contribute to the fight against global warming and improve the living environment of Tajura citizens, the region's prefect, Mr. Mohammed Humad Abbas, brought together school principals to discuss the presidential initiative to promote tree planting in schools. The meeting was an opportunity for the prefect to mobilize Tajora's educational corps around this essential environment cause. The prefect stressed the importance of this action, which stems from the vision of the President of the Republic to preserve the environment and combat the effects of climate change. After discussing the importance of tree planting with school heads, Mr. Mohammed Humad Abbas proceeded to distribute tree seedlings to the school heads present. The distribution symbolized a concrete commitment to achieving the objective set by the presidential initiative. Planting trees in schools will not only help to green educational spaces, but also raise awareness of the importance of protecting nature. This exemplary initiative shows that the authorities in Tajura are taking concrete steps towards a more sustainable and environmentally friendly future. Shifting gears towards the international scene now, almost half of Gaza's hospitals are no longer operational due to the conflict in the territory. As a result of ongoing attacks since October 7, the Gaza Strip is regularly hit by Israeli army bombardments. Israel's blockade of Gaza has also led to shortages of drinking water, electricity, and even food. A complicated situation for the area's hospitals. According to Hamas, almost all of them, 16 out of 35, are no longer operational. Well, but these are blood viewers. We finally conclude this edition. Thank you for being with us, and make sure to tune in later for more. Have a wonderful evening. Take care.